Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio. Halfway point of the week. Missouri and Arkansas got a chance to battle it out in the court last night. Who got the dub?
Arkansas gets a win. They knocked off Oklahoma and pinned Oklahoma with loss number 7 in a row. The Sooners, at one time this year, had a big deal going at the start of the year, but they have cooled off considerably, and Arkansas beats them in Norman 83-79. Missouri was in Tuscaloosa to play the Crimson Tide. Didn't come out very well. Missouri gets shelled in this one 90-64 by the Crimson Tide. Alabama, you might remember, was kind of the story of college basketball last year. Well, they have virtually the same team back with one addition, a guy who played pro basketball for 3 years, and he's being allowed back in. I think this is so totally wrong, but he helps. He's not the star of the show, but he does help, and Alabama gets a very big victory over the Missouri Tigers, who were coming off thrilling victories themselves in their last 2 games.
It's going to be a lot of fun here in about a month and a half when this thing starts up. It's anyone's game, man. A lot of really good college basketball teams right now. Speaking of which, the Bears are home tonight. So what are the odds on that game?
The Bears are a very narrow 2.5-point favorite over Sam Houston State. First time the Bears have played the Sam Houston Bearcats out of Huntsville, Texas. Sam Houston State comes in with a slightly better record than the Missouri State Bears, but that's because of the number of games played. They're about the same, except for the fact that Sam Houston State is very offense-oriented. They average 84 points a game. The Bears average 75, but it's the way Missouri State plays. I don't think Sam Houston nor many of the other Conference USA schools have seen the type of defense that Conzo Martin puts on the court. It is a very difficult, in-your-face, man-to-man defense and can really disrupt the rhythm of teams. Well, we'll find out if that works in the Bears' favor tonight. 7 o'clock tip-off at the Great Southern Bank Arena, the Bears and Sam Houston State.
Now, let's switch gears here to hockey. Blues had a close one last night, but pretty much the same thing that's plagued them all season. They just can't close those games.
Well, the Dallas Stars got off to a 3-0 lead with 3 goals in the second period, and it looked like it was all over. But back come the Blues. They managed to tie it up. They tied the game with about 2 minutes remaining, and you thought, well, surely this is going – actually, it's more like 4 minutes. 4 minutes remaining, and you thought, well, this is going to a shootout. And overtime. Wrong-o. The Dallas Stars score with just over a minute remaining and a 4-3 victory over the Blues. That's the nature of St. Louis Blues hockey this year. They're, 5 games under 500 now, and while there's a ways to go before the end of the season and a 2-week layoff for the Olympics, well, they got to patch things up in a hurry.
So it seemed like there was some news that broke in the sports world yesterday that almost broke everyone's mind. Obviously, the votes being cast who's going into the Football Hall of Fame, and for the first time, he has been eligible to get in. Bill Belichick didn't get enough votes.
This is very interesting, and this is my opinion on what happened. First of all, the rule was changed last summer by the NFL committee that makes the rules on eligibility for the Hall of Fame. Coaches who retire go from 5 years out to 1 year out. And the thinking was, well, there's the Bill Belichick rule right there. They want to make him eligible for the Hall of Fame just as soon as he can. That may or may not be the case. But now keep in mind, the class won't be announced until February 5th. But it leaked out yesterday that Belichick did not get enough votes on that first ballot. My thinking is that some of the members of the committee said, hey, wait a minute. Yes, this guy's the second all-time winningest coach in NFL history. He has 8 Super Bowls to his credit, 8 Super Bowl championships. He thinks he's a big shot. He was involved in Spygate and Deflategate. He will be eligible again next year. Let's just take him down a peg and not vote him in this year. See how that happens. Whether or not that's the case, I don't know. That's my thinking, because he should have gotten in. My goodness sake, look at the credibility records. But he did not. But he is eligible again next year, and I'm sure he will be in the Hall of Fame then.
There was a lot of back and forth about where this could have come from, and I was reading that Bill Polian was probably the one that had put his there was thought at the time when I was reading the back and forth that he was the one that muddled the process, that was saying he can't get in there, Spygate, all this stuff. Those arguments are valid, but then obviously there is the, hey, this guy's probably got it out for this dude because they were in the same conference and yada, yada, yada. He's actually come out and said he voted for him to get in. So now what do you do? I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if all the guys that voted for him come out and say they did, and then the 10 guys that didn't have to answer for that. But at the same time, there's a reason they make them anonymous. So we'll see. Your thoughts on the Duke University quarterback situation?
This is absolute total rubbish, and it needs to be changed. The kid involved is Darian Mensah of Duke University. And he signed with Duke. He said back in December that he's going to stay with them. Very good player. Very good player. Took Duke to the ACC championship this year and won their bowl game over Arizona State. Okay, all that having been said, he's a good player. Says he's coming back to Duke. Last day of the transfer portal was January 16th. He put his name in the portal. Duke said, wait a minute, you can't do that. You're with us. And he said, well, I can't do it. Of course, you get the lawyers involved now and so forth and so on. Well, Duke bowed out yesterday, in my opinion. They didn't want to go to a court case. Their statement was, we believe in contracts, and we believe in people who signed that contracts honoring their commitment, but we don't want to sue an alum and a player for a student at Duke University. We don't want to do that, so we'll let him go in the portal. Presto, he's going to Miami. The kid's good. Fact of the matter remains, this is Mensah's third college. He started at Tulane, went to Duke, and now he's going to Miami. Hey, folks, that is balderdash. That needs to be changed and needs to be changed immediately, and the only way it's going to get changed is with the federal government intervention. Hey, transfer, first year, fine. That's fine. Second year, you're not happy? Well, you're probably a discontent, so sit out a year if you're going to transfer again. Want to get out of that school? Sit out another year. You'll be 81 years old by the time your eligibility runs out. That this is all wrong, and it does need to be changed, but right now it's the case, and Mensah will be the quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes next year.
Crazy. It's always going to be drama with that portal, man. It's just, it's going to be like that.
You know who's going to the bank? The lawyers.
Yeah, they always are. Isn't that funny? They've always been okay. We talked a little bit about the Mizzou Razorback game last time we chatted, and the Bears playing tonight at home. But what else happened in the world of college basketball?
Missouri did lose. They lost to Alabama 90-64. Arkansas did win, pinned to defeat number 7 in a row on Oklahoma 83, I should say, to 79. Nebraska is no longer undefeated. Michigan beat them 75-72 on the court at the Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Nebraska led, Mike, virtually the entire game. Nebraska is really, really good. And then you look at the stats. Michigan went to the foul line 17 times in the second half. Nebraska went 4 times. Alrighty. It was 75-72, and Nebraska is no longer undefeated, but they are a very good basketball team. Purdue and Indiana. In football, it's the battle for the old Oaken Bucket. I don't know what they call it in college, but whatever it is, they call it an Indiana victory. Hoosiers 72, Purdue 67, and Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt 80, Kentucky 55. Oh, my goodness.
Like I said last time, it's going to be crazy about a month and a half from now. It's anyone's game. And I'm glad I don't have enough money to be just spitting any chocolate chips at the end of February. Ned, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.